Hello boxing fans, today we're going to talk about Felix Sturm versus Martin Murray. Felix Sturm, we know, holds the WBA Super World Middleweight title. He holds it fortuitously after just about beating Matthew Macklin. Even I think that was a gift decision in his hometown, and probably should have given Matthew Macklin a rematch. However, as far as I'm aware, or this is what I think, I have a feeling he offered Matthew Macklin the rematch, but Matthew said, "No, I will not come back to Germany to get robbed again. How about you come to Ireland and fight me there?" And Felix said, "No, thank you. I'll just fight someone you haven't fought yet." And then instead fought another British come forward style fighter in Martin Murray. So let's start with Martin Murray. What do we know about Martin Murray? Well, he's had 23 fights, 23 wins, 10 by way of knockout. Martin Murray's overall punching power is more of a combination of punches over a long period of time. He doesn't have a great knockout ratio with less than 50%. That shows he doesn't have a he doesn't have the one punch knockout that some people need. And he's never really been tested at the highest level. He's number 30 in the world and number 3 in Britain, which probably shows he doesn't deserve to be up fighting for a world title right now. He probably needed a few more fights under his belt before fighting one of these world champions. When comparing that with Felix Sturm, Sturm has the better ring knowledge and experience with 39 fights, 36 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, overall 15 knockouts to his name, and obviously a 38% knockout ratio, which shows he doesn't have the one punch power either. He pretty much fights exclusively out of Germany now after he lost a very close decision to Oscar De La Hoya a few years back, and a lot of people think that he was robbed in that particular fight, and I sort of think it was really close. It could have been a robbery, maybe hometown advantage you might say, and since then he's guarded against that by always fighting in Germany. Is also most definitely the better boxer. If you let him box and stand in front of you, then it's going to be a very hard night. Martin Murray has to get close and he has to be right up in his face, just like Matthew Macklin was. And I've got a feeling that Sturm will be finding ways to make room for himself and keep Martin Murray away from him. So I don't think it's going to be an easy night for Murray. The question is, has Sturm aged overnight again? He seemed to have aged pretty badly in his fight against Matthew Macklin, but he still found a way in the end, be that the judges or be that him actually winning more rounds than Macklin. Who knows? Question is, will he have aged even more? Just going to point out that this is not impossible for Martin Murray. He could win this fight. He just has to do the right things. If he gets right up in his face, Martin Murray can beat Felix Sturm. He's got to keep pressing him, keep going at him. He's got to be quicker, beat him to the punch, and he's got to be up to his movement. And Felix Sturm's no spring chicken. He's 32 years old. He's getting on. In fact, you might say he's got 1 or 2 years left in the game. So he can be taken out if you have to. And he's been knocked out before. He could be knocked out again. This is how I see the fight's gonna go. I've got a feeling Felix Sturm has used this fight because he needs to get some reputation back after a lot of people, including myself, think he lost his last fight. So he's picked another come forward fighter. He's going to prove that he can beat a come forward fighter who stands right in front of him and keeps pushing him the whole way. This is how I see it going. I see Martin Murray coming forward all the time. He's going to try and get right up in his face. But I think that Felix Sturm's going to be ready for him at this time. I think he's going to know that Martin Murray's not going to tire too much, and he's going to keep boxing and moving over the long period of time. Martin Murray may have areas of success in a few rounds, but I've got a feeling Felix Sturm, using the jab, working from behind the jab, will do well. And I've got a feeling he's going to bring in the uppercut when Murray's getting in close. I think that if Felix Sturm works from behind the jab, only uses the jab, uses a bit of movement, and then works the body, maybe throws the uppercut when on the inside, and keeps Martin Murray at bay for a long enough period of time, I've got a feeling that Felix Sturm will either win using a unanimous decision or maybe a late knockout. I'm going to go with unanimous decision though, because he's not got that one punch power. He can hurt people, but I think at this time in his age he's going to go for the unanimous decision.